Yeah, so Kora adopted delegated proof of stake to meet the operational needs for three requirements. First is security, second is scalability, third is interoperability. And we really feel that DPoS prioritizes those things in the network. Now, what we've done is we used Jake Wan's paper on Tendermint as a way to guide the principles that the Kora network is going to operate under. We really gravitated towards his belief in instant finality, and we really feel that will guide us to what we're ultimately looking to do. Now, the way the network is set up is that it's going to operate with 21 validators in total. The first 20 will be selected based on stake of everyone in the network voting for them. The last validator will be selected randomly to keep the validator pool fresh. We envision our validators to be enterprise level candidates, as well as those who run data centers. Really big operations considering the amount of data that's going to be flowing through and the needs that we think transactionally the network will ultimately need. But in terms of our backers, we feel that anyone who should be able to participate in KNT and be a part of the network. So we decided to use an ERC20 token initially for the Kora offering because due to stability purposes, we really feel that it made it easier to get the token off the ground. Eventually what we do is we were planning on forking the blockchain. So whether it be Tendermint or some other solution, we'll have the tokens ultimately dropped into that network at some point in the future. So one of our biggest partnerships is with the Stellar Ripple XRP network. We really feel that there are a lot of synergies long term that we have with our networks, and we look forward to working with them. The second is Iroha. So Iroha is a solution that falls under the Hyperledger framework, and Soramitsu, the Japanese company that organized it, is actually providing services to the Central Bank of Cambodia for them to use in their system. So we feel that there's a lot of overlap between what we're trying to do at Kora and what they're doing over there. The third is ID 2020, which is a UN initiative to give identification to all members in the globe. And we really feel that there's a lot of overlap for what we're trying to do at Kora. The other one is we are working with a mobile provider in Africa already on the ground. So VTN is the mobile provider who we've been leveraging to use in our network. So in African countries, we really feel that there's such a need for this product, and ultimately we're working on a $5 flip phone, cell phone, that essentially is going to do three things. You'll be able to send money, receive money, and cash out. So from a functionality standpoint, it's not like the order of operations that are going to be planted on our end users is going to be high. So we really feel that from a sophistication standpoint, as long as our software is designed in a way that makes it very easy to use, we don't think that there should be a high bar from an education level. That being said, as part of our betas, we're going to have people on the ground who are going to be working in these communities to make sure that our software is meeting the goals that we set out to. And ultimately, as we continue to innovate, there might be tweaks that we make to our software to make sure that our user experience is one that they're able to use seamlessly. Yeah, ICO regulation is very important. I think that right now there's been a lot of changes in the regulatory environment. For Kora in particular, because we're an infrastructure project and we interface with the traditional financial system, most of the regulations that we're concerned with are the ones that banks are already dealing with that are at a higher level. So we have to make sure all of our transactions are KYC, AML, anti-fraud, anti-terror compliant. So because of that, we really look at the jurisdictions at which each country operates to make sure that we're in compliance with them. So for instance, we try and guide ourselves to regulatory environments that we think operate well on the Kora network. Kenya, for instance, is a very difficult market to be in since the government controls a monopoly of M-Pesa, and because M-Pesa runs there, it would be difficult for Kora to operate in that environment. So we've gone to regulatory environments from a banking standpoint that we feel align with our goals and that we really can make an impact in. Yeah, what Alibaba is doing in China is very entrepreneurial focused. So they're really trying to build up the businesses from the ground up in these developing countries. We really feel the mission at Kora is slightly different. We are really trying to provide access to the individual. Therefore, from a banking standpoint, we've really gone down to the ground level to give those people the very essentials that they need. We want to be the payment solution of last resort for people in these countries, and we really feel that our mission from what Alibaba is doing is very different. We really look for supporters of the network who are in for the long term. I think when you look at Kora, our mission, our goal to build an interoperable platform that can work in multiple environments, our value is derived from a few principles. One being growing our user base. The more individuals who find value in the platform, the more that they're using it, that helps increase the value of the network. The second is increasing the number of providers that we have on the network. So as we enter more jurisdictions, as more countries become involved, we can start implementing cross-border transactions. We can start implementing higher level transactions between one another that continue to provide value to the network. And from our standpoint, short-term investing isn't gonna get anywhere. It leads to some of the problems that we've seen in the space. So we're really looking for the long-term investor who sees the vision of Kora.